Okay, so I think we are live now, and in this one I want to do some work on Happi. So we have Happi.test, or I'll go to Happi.team. So I have the customer support software, which is my side project, and in this I've done a bunch of work on this lately to add like tons of AI stuff in, which save a huge amount of time. So there's essentially a bunch of agents and stuff in here. So AI Spam Guardian is like next level message filtering for removing cold emails, sales pitches, all of that stuff that just gets through normal spam, traditional spam filters. So this stuff's cool. Knowledge agent then is like vector store database, adding PDFs, Word docs, all this stuff to train the AI on your own account and company and product. Reply writer then just writes customer support responses using all that knowledge base info. And essentially I want to do a bunch more screencasts on Happi and the work and features that I'm adding to it, but currently it's got a ton of production data, real names, real email addresses, all that stuff, and I want to like scrub that and basically in development mode at least be able to anonymize all that data so that I can do screencasts on the product and add in new features and all that sort of stuff without leaking any real customer stuff. So this one I'm actually just going to show Copilot agent and how it's working with Ruby and how I've set that up as well. So it's pretty straightforward and simple to use. It works kind of the same way as GitHub workflows and whatever. So if you have GitHub Actions set up to run your test in order to tell Copilot how to understand all the code. But for this, I haven't gone through and written all of this. I've already got a bunch of cursor rules around everything. And so I just prompted cursor in here to say, give him my cursor rules in, and then you can do files and folders, rules, and that'll give you cursor rules. Write me a, and then you can do .github Copilot instructions.markdown, and you can use a prompt like that, and it'll then, from all your cursor rules that you've already set up, it'll create this decent Copilot instructions markdown file. So that helps it all work, and we can then go to GitHub. You need to pay for the Pro Copilot. It's for personal accounts, it's like $39 a month or something like that. So it's on the cheaper end of all these agents, like Codex from OpenAI. You need to pay $200 a month or something like that. So this one's on the cheaper end, and this is the one I've been experimenting with most personally. And we can go in here. So basically how this works is once you've created your subscription or whatever, you just go into issues on your repository, write some text about what you want the feature to do, and then go to assignees and go to Copilot. Within a few seconds we should see down here we've assigned to Copilot, and we should see another one here. Yeah, so Copilot mentioned this, and so Copilot's gone ahead, opened a draft pull request. It's written a bunch of notes about its planning, and it'll go through and edit this as it's doing its thing. So it takes a wee bit more time than something like Cursor or whatever, but you can, at the start of your day, go through and create 5 of these, 10 of these, or just constantly be filling up that issues backlog with all the stuff that you want to work on. And for me, I've already got roadmaps in Notion for this and for Rapid Ruby. And if I go in here, Rapid Ruby roadmap, I have a bunch of things to do, done, all that sort of stuff. And the smaller kind of ones in there, I've just been going through and adding these issues into GitHub and just seeing what Copilot does. And it's really cool. It does a good job. You definitely want to keep these down to the smaller end of things. So you want them to be like really well defined pieces of work. You don't want it to be just a really vague feature description. And I've found as well, like with the larger features or the more complex features, it doesn't get it right first time, and it maybe writes broken code. And so you have to go in to its PRs, test them. If your tests don't pass, so you can see down here, we've got one workflow waiting approval. And I think from what I understand, you just click this every so often. It asks, because it doesn't want Copilot to be going mad with your continuous integration build minutes or whatever. So it started work on this 2 minutes ago. You can click view session and go in and see in VS Code session kind of style what it's actually doing. So as you can see here, it's exploring the repository structure to understand the code base. So it's going through and doing a bunch of stuff. Let me look at the gem file, all this kind of stuff. And now let me run a basic test to see if the environment is set up correctly, which your Ruby version is 3.2.3, but your gem file 3.3.4. So there's some kind of thing there with Copilot. So I'll copy that and make sure to look at that later. So we've got Ruby version here. It's gone through DB schema, and even though it hasn't got Ruby set up correctly here, which I obviously haven't realized, it's still able to go ahead and write the code for me. Obviously, if it has Ruby set up correctly, it can probably write new tests, run them itself, and not even have to involve me in the process at all. But anyway, we'll just tear on there and go through all this stuff. As you can see, it's updated the description now, and it's added its to-do list and what it's going to do. And it's starting to go through and check off all these tasks as well. So for me to record this live is not really like the most efficient way to do it, because it's going to take a bunch of time to go through all those tasks or whatever. We'll bear with it as much as we can here, and see how quickly it can get the feature done. In the meantime, I think I can't really show I can show some of the UI for Happi, I think. So I'll go to settings. Actually, it's just under knowledge base here. So this is kind of part of what I've been building to make Happi intelligent, and there's two kind of ways that it learns from all the support interactions. The first is previous replies. So if you've been using Happi a bunch and responding to customer support messages, all of those messages get embedded and vectorized and stored. So any future message that's similar, the AI can pull from those previous ones and see what you answered before and really just drive the context. So even without the knowledge base, it's still going to be fairly smart and good at answering messages. But if you're just starting out on Happi and you don't have a bunch of previous data in there, then this is the best way to go. So you just upload documents, and it can take PDFs, markdown files, text files, PowerPoints, all that sort of stuff, Word documents. And in these, it's going to upload the files, chunk them into like small chunks so they're easily searchable, and then vector embed each of those chunks into a database so that we can write a AI tool, and when the AIs are running, the AI agents are running, they're able to call that tool and start pulling stuff out from each of these files. So various things like AI generated business overviews where I have a AI agent that'll ask me a bunch of questions about a business or a product and generate me a full business overview. So it'll go through and generate me something really in depth about my business or product. AI feature roadmap, that's just all AI specific features. Marketing plan is something I think I put through like OpenAI 03 or something. So it came up with like this really long, decent plan, and then I've summarized it here. And tech features overview, just core kind of features about the product. Full deep research on Happi. There's a bunch of stuff in here where it's gone deep on it. And code to AI tech summary is where I've taken the code base from a technical point of view, compressed it all down and put it into a markdown summary. So it'll go through and it'll list things like this doesn't seem to be the right file maybe here. I've maybe renamed this wrong, but it basically gives the AI context on your actual code, so it knows exactly what sort of features your product has. If there's people entering in things in the input fields and getting failure or error messages back, it makes the AI intelligent enough to understand that and why it might be happening and how to change user inputs and all that sort of stuff. So that really levels it up, and essentially this stuff here can actually make the AI smarter than a real customer support agent. Maybe not a customer support agent who's also a developer and can write all the code themselves, but pretty close to that, rather than just your general AI support agent who isn't a developer or isn't overly technical. So that's some of the stuff that's really made Happi much more powerful and great at writing responses, dealing with messages and all that sort of stuff. And I want to go more in depth on this and show how it actually does that stuff in threads and customers and all that stuff, but we need this feature first so that we can anonymize development data. So it looks now like it's actually started to, or finished this maybe. And we can improve CI to run again to check if whatever code it's written actually works and doesn't break the build. I'll just reload this. Files changed 3. So docs anonymization. Okay, it's written full documentation for the task and everything, which is not something I asked it to do. And it's written my anonymize.rake task, which is cool. And a spec for it as well. Well, okay. That's pretty impressive. Now let's make sure it actually works. I'll see the docs here first anyway. So we have anonymized data rig task. Replaces real customer information with realistic but completely fictitious data. Okay. Only runs in development environment and changes are irreversible. That's fine. And it's going to prompt for confirmation as well. Cool. Random realistic names. I wonder, is it using some sort of gem to make those names, or what way it's doing that? Email addresses, it looks like it's just using their ID as a thing. Okay, so it can only be run in development, otherwise it exits. It's gonna ask for confirmation. Cool. Message count, thread count. Okay. Oh, it's just created its own list of first names and last names and companies, and then it's probably just going to sample from each of those. And message templates as well. Cool. Subject templates. Fake email, fake company, fake phone, fake location. Wow. Okay, and it's got its spec here too. So let's go back and see the CI pass on its new spec. And as you can see as well, when it's done, it usually requests a code review from you. So you get added to the reviewers list and get a notification. So when you do just leave it running and forget about it, close the tab, you'll still get email alerts and whatever saying Copilot's finished, go and review its code. And all checks have passed, so maybe the test it wrote and everything like that did work. So for now we'll check out its branch, and so we'll go in here, git fetch, git check out this, and what have I got uncommitted? I'll stash that. So we can go into this task then, and it's in lib tasks anonymize, and let's just try running it. So we'll do bin rails anonymize data, and we'll say no, anonymization cancelled. And then let's run it, see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't blow up. Wow, I love the dots as well, or it's just putting a dot out every time, like RSpec would. That's cool. Some kind of login here for Sidekick. It shouldn't be there, but it's okay. It's very slow on message content, whatever it's doing. So we'll run through customers, find each very quickly. Message. Don't know why that's so slow. This message has a bunch of callbacks or something like that. Yeah, maybe something to do with the turbo stream responses or something like that. I don't know that what these dots are tied to though. Oh, every 10. Yeah. So for every dot it's done 10 messages. Maybe it is just slow due to the turbo broadcast append to or release to, etc. And then it's done a heck of a lot of more messages than customers as well. So in the meantime, we'll go to Rapid Ruby. and just look at some of the stuff I've been doing with Copilot here. So the debug why Hotwire Spark wasn't working, it didn't really give me useful results here. It started installing a bunch of client libraries and things like that that are not needed for Hotwire Spark. Resume videos where you were previously watching them. This is something I haven't even checked out the code to yet because it was a bunch of stuff, but hopefully it works and is useful. So basically, again, like a list of small tasks that I had in Notion for Rapid Ruby and what things that I just hadn't had a chance to work on yet, and thought we'll give it to Copilot and see what happens. So it's obviously editing some of the video views and stuff, storing percentage watch and current time of the video. Yep, that looks right and good. And then ability to view the video view, get JSON back with the current time that you watched to. Seems sensible enough. And videos controller, load saved position, so that's a new method. And it has on time update. So on time update, it's updated to not just pass the percentage watched like before, but also the current time. And then load saved position, it's getting from that video view and setting the current time to where it should be. That actually looks like it probably will work, and for having hardly any context about the code, it's actually done a really good job here. Obviously, again, for larger things like this, you need to check out the repo and pull it down and go through and actually test it, because especially with the JavaScript stuff here, there's not like a whole bunch of system tests or anything like that in place. There's a bunch of stuff in here, I don't know if it's needed or not, a bunch of new JavaScript code, but we can review that more fully later. Okay, that actually looks really useful, and that it might have actually done a great job on that for me. There was another one here that I added that I still to go through and actually check the work, but add Fathom. I use Fathom Analytics on most of my sites. Add Fathom events for whenever someone signs up or puts it through a subscription payment. So I've still to kind of review this and see what's going on. Let's just check on the progress here. Oh, it's finished now. Anonymization complete, 248 customers, messages anonymized. Perfect. So hopefully, if I go through and do bin dev now, I'm not going to leak a bunch of customer data. So it's Happi.test. Different page here. It seems to be going very slow. Our worker's going crazy. I'm just gonna close that and get rid of the sidekick worker for now. So we'll comment out worker happens here. Maybe run a restart also. I have no idea why this is not loading. I feel like my little MacBook Air is going very slow. I don't know if it's due to the stream or whatnot. Maybe it's a little too much for the Air. In the meantime, we'll enable web again just to see if this, and run here, and we'll go localhost 3000. Is it up and running yet? No. I don't know what's going on. Oh, here we go. Booting Puma. For some reason I think my machine is just grinding to a halt here with OBS or whatever's going on with the stream. Yeah, that's just too slow. We'll come back and revisit that in another video. For now, we've checked this out. The code works great. Has way more logs and prettiness in the console than I would have ever built in this sort of tool. So really happy with this. And again, just writing a real quick issue on GitHub, assigning the Copilot, and off it goes and does a whole bunch of complex work for you that would take me a lot longer to do. So you can obviously there's codecs and stuff like that as well. I haven't used codecs much yet. Copilot's been my main thing, and partly for personal projects, side projects, all that sort of stuff. Just a cost thing, $39 a month, and it's still delivering great results. Obviously, if codecs was 5 times better, I'll check it out and use that. But for now, super happy with this. Once you're happy, you can move the PRs from draft to review and just merge them or whatever way you want. I like to use the GitHub command line because I like how it deletes the local branches and stuff like that. So I like just doing GitHub PR merge, create a merge commit, delete branches, and that'll do everything for me. Delete the local and remote branches and pull everything. So check out my proc file dev, pull, there we go. So that's up and running now, and I'll get some more videos on Happi soon once I get it up and running and just figure out whatever's going on here with the local environment and slowness. But yeah, hopefully that was interesting to see, and let me know in the comments what you folks are using for AI stuff. Are you just using Cursor or Windsurf, or are you using some of this new agent stuff as well? I think it's really cool and just adds another layer to the process. It almost makes you like a engineering manager or something like that, to go ahead and manage a bunch of agents independently outside of the code, and just doing code reviews and stuff like that on their work and merging their work in. So it's really cool. Definitely big changes in our workflows and how we're working now, and hopefully this rambling of showing you stuff was useful.